you're better off trying to go and purchase the PS5 off the Temu and expect, it to be fulfilled in good faith. If you're trusting a CEO to keep his promise without the protection of a contract.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
We have a caller on the line, actually. Let's go ahead and get them on the air. The caller is from an 818 area code. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jacob. Hey, Whitney. This is Lenny Powers from Southern California.
Lenny from Southern California. Welcome back to the program. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Just wanted to just comment on that, on the UAW workers, or not, well, they're not UAW workers, but the Mercedes workers, that, had those empty promises not being fulfilled by management.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, this is definitely a learning lesson for those folks.
Mm-hmm.
And they need, the understanding, especially from the perspective of a union member myself, that is, quite involved with the process of, within the process of, my union, understanding contracts, understanding the mechanisms and the protections that the contract provides, that, you're better off trying to go and purchase the PS5 off the Temu and expect, it to be fulfilled in good faith. If you're trusting a CEO to keep his promise without the protection of a contract. And Shawn Fain is not obligated, to go to bat, take any further action on behalf of these workers, because again, they're not unionized. And that's, but him doing it out of good faith, should be seen as, a further effort of, getting these folks to realize that your bosses aren't looking out for your best interests. And more than often than not, without the, the enforcement and the law behind a union contract, they don't have to.
Right.
It's the dynamics of the power between being represented and having the protections of a union, that allow you to make, to fulfill such demands, because anybody can make a promise, anybody can make a handshake deal, but without the proper mechanisms in place and the laws in place to put behind, those agreements, then you're not gonna, they're not gonna be fulfilled. And this is just, a lesson for anybody out there that, that takes, management's word for it. They should see that and understand that when the campaign rolls around again, remember this and vote accordingly. So just want to leave you with that. Thank you for taking my call, and you have a good one.
Yep. Thanks, Lenny. Appreciate it. And you're exactly right. And, hopefully it will be a learning experience, and hopefully it'll be a learning experience that is not too terribly painful. Hopefully they'll be able to vote again within a year or so, and they'll be able to win and make the right decision going forward. This is what happened at Volkswagen. Volkswagen had 2 other elections before their ultimate final successful election. And some of the Volkswagen workers that were down, I was down at the vote count in Tuscaloosa, and there were some Volkswagen workers there. They had come down to celebrate, and ultimately they did not have as good a time as they had hoped. But they did say that this is what we had to do. We had to go through it multiple times, and one of the reasons that we were able to win is that there was all this momentum. The UAW has changed. They have, started winning. They are less corrupt. And so there was all of that. But also they had had multiple elections already where they had seen this kind of stuff, right? Where they had seen the boss promise changes and they had seen the boss not follow through. So they knew that, the only way to actually ensure that anything changes, and it's not a guarantee that anything changes, but, it's something that it's a way that you at least have a say in what happens next, is actually to unionize and to get a union contract. Because if you don't have that, then everything that happens in your company and in the corporation is at the whim of the employer. They can change the working conditions. They can change the entire job description. They can change anything that they want about your job and about your pay and about whether or not you work there for any reason or no reason at all. And they don't have to answer to you for it. If you're unionized, they do. And you have a say. So that's something that the bosses don't want. So they're willing to lie to stop it, as we saw at Volkswagen and as we are seeing now in Mercedes. But and so, hopefully it is educational for these folks. It's a good, it's something that that everybody needs to learn, and hopefully folks that have not gone through this process, hopefully the media will explain to people what is happening and explain to people that the bosses are being caught lying, and so that fewer workers fall for this sort of thing in the future. You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project. And you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.